The next bit of news is that your LA Lakers maybe found their new. The way it's been reported, by the way, it's one of those things that feels like the NBA draft. The Boston Celtics are gearing towards selecting this player instead of saying that this is the thing. But here's the actual thing. Breaking, the Los Angeles Lakers are targeting Connecticut's Dan Hurley to become the franchise's next coach and preparing a massive long-term contract offer to bring the back-to-back national champion to the NBA.
$100 million contract.
And that was at like 6 a.m. Like I was about to board my flight. Like,
it's super interesting because I was kind of warming up to all the JJ Redick stuff that was going, and then this kind of happened. And then all of a sudden, all my timeline is all the clips of him coaching and everything. And it gets me back excited just for the energy.
You fired up, huh?
It does a little bit.
You saw the one clip that said if Anthony Davis went through this conditioning, he wouldn't be ready for game one?
Yeah. I like the one where he was like, he was hype as hell with his player, and then he just goes to the other coaches or whatever, and he's all like normal or whatever. But I seen some of his quotes about him talking about like the difference between college and obviously the NBA and how he himself thought like he wasn't ready for it. Just because it's so different. Like, a lot of the times, the way he was kind of acting, you might have to do it in a different way with, like, grown men, versus, like, trying to teach these kids that are becoming men and everything like that. So it would be interesting, but I love the energy. I can't lie about that.
It would be a pivot, and it would be interesting to see if the Lakers do it and if they stick with it. Because the Lakers have always been a team, well, not always, but the majority of our lifetime has been a team that's so hell-bent on winning championships, which makes sense, that they bring in coaches that they believe can get them there. And maybe he can, but he's more a developmental coach.
KB, when they said J.J. Redick, they thought had Pat Riley potential.
Yeah.
To just be like, oh, we were actually just trying to go get Dan Hurley. So I don't know. They always feel so confused about what their actual intentions are.
Because a lot of the reports was like, him with Max Christie, him with these other guys, him with Bronny, which was something that Woj said.
It literally sounded like they was trying to rebuild the team, but actually they're trying to rebuild.
And it also said that their attentions are building around Anthony Davis.
They want to do both.
But it came out Anthony Davis wants James Borrego.
But now they want James Borrego to be an assistant for Dan Hurley. So it's just a lot. It's conflicting reports because you got Woj versus Shams, really. Our two powerhouses in breaking news.
And J.J. Redick said he's going to address that after the finals.
Okay, cool.
Listen to this. This is why I don't like it, Mike. It has nothing to do with the Lakers. I said something about it on Twitter, and Laker fans think everything is about them. I don't even think about y'all. Besides you. You're my only Laker fan that I think about. The rest of y'all,
he barely do that.
I don't care. I don't know why that entitlement
I'd say
pisses
probably
me
about
off.
like outside of the podcast, 20% of our conversations might be about the Lakers.
Right.
Not even that seems
That's
kind of high.
kinda high.
That's probably like 5%.
But I just say that because
We
we probably
watch
in the
games
Discord.
and
It's like we just talking about some shit.
Larry Brown remains the only head coach to win a national championship and the NBA Finals, doing so with Kansas in 1988 and the Detroit Pistons in 2004. Basketball Hall of Famers Rick Pitino, John Calipari, who won championships at the college level, did not find the same success coaching in the pros. Basically, stemming off what you said with some of Dan Hurley. When college coaches like Dan Hurley have the success, I personally am always for them staying at the college level and doing what they do at the college level. I've always said, if I can ever coach, it would be at college. I have anything I would ever dream of doing in the NBA would just be some GM, front office personnel. Coaching in the NBA, where players have the more power, they get paid more than you, their voice matters more than you. You can literally lose your job in the NBA because your star player don't like how you said something to them. You held him accountable, and now he mad. Now he said, Darrick is my star player, and I said, Darrick, practice started 5 minutes ago, man. Come on, we need you on time. And that could piss him off because I said something to him in front of KB. And he don't like that KB can use that against him now. And now I lost my job. Has nothing to do with my coaching capabilities or anything like that. I just lost my job because I told my star player something to keep him accountable. When you are in those type of situations in the NBA and you go to a team like the Lakers where there's so much drama, it's so Hollywood, you got LeBron James, a storyline. They want you to win and develop. Hell no.
I would say
stay in college.
When I first was reading the article when it saw coming out, I was thinking in my head, like, as a college coach coming off back-to-back championships, Like, you're the man around. Like, you just as much power as the star player. Like, you're the man around.
When
there.
you win
It's
one
hard.
championship, you get about 20 years of leeway.
Yeah.
So
No,
the fact that
seriously.
he went
No,
back
yeah.
to back, they damn near can start building his statue now.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
that's a very good point, P.
But when you said what the contract was, what?
It's a $100 million
million.
contract.
That's
it's like
a
over
lot
8 years.
of money to turn down.
8 year, $100
bro.
million.
That's a lot of money to turn
I mean,
down.
that's true too.
So
That's true, too.
Who was the coaches you mentioned that went NCAA and NBA?
Larry Brown.
Larry Brown. Larry Brown's the only one to do that. Here are some other coaches that went from college to the NBA, and y'all tell me if they did a good job.
Well-
Billy Donovan genuinely might be, like, when we go through the rest of the list, he might be top 3 when it comes to players that transition over, and he ain't been on a crumb.
No.
Billy Donovan's a good coach, but he's never going to outdo what he did in college because, again, like Dan Hurley, he went back to back at
Yes, he did.
Florida.
Yeah. We also got Fred Hoiberg. The Chicago Bulls just love employing these type
He
of
went back to college.
Yes,
Yeah,
he did.
he didn't
it was so
translate well.
stressful that he
He
said.
was at Nebraska.
Now, Brad Stevens is a good thing. Never got the championship, but he was always looked at as one of the better coaches in
And
basketball.
now he's
before
a
he
great
stepped
front
away.
office guy.
Yeah.
So
that's a good success story. Reggie Theus did it in 2007 where he went to the Sacramento Kings. Mike Montgomery went from Stanford to the Golden State Warriors in 2004. He had a record of 68 and 96. Leonard Hamilton went from Florida to Washington. He was
And went
19
back.
and 63.
He's at Florida State now.
You said what?
19 and 63.
1963.
He had one season, and they was like, you know what, that ain't.
And all he do is produce pros. He gave us Jonathan Isaac, Devin Vassell, Scotty Barnes. Florida State is giving us good pro players.
Tim Floyd went from Iowa State to the Chicago Bulls in
Went
98.
back to college.
Yep, he had a record of 90 and 123. Rick Pitino, who we all famously know was a Boston Celtic coach in 1997.
Went back to college.
He was 192 and 220. John Calipari, UMass to the Nets in 1996. It's a whole documentary about
You got a
that.
guess?
what his record was?
No. What did he do?
What do you mean? What did
He
do?
went back.
back to college.
He went back to college.
Yeah, I knew John got a part with. I didn't know. I thought you was about what was his record.
And then PJ Carlesimo went from Seton Hall to the Blazers in 94.
I don't think PJ ever went back to college. He bounced around as a head coach. And
Either
now-
way, it's not a great success story because you're not just coaching basketball at that point.
Yeah.
Like P said, it's egos. It's a lot of different things.
Personalities.
It's so many different things.
you're basically babysitting to me. You're not even
Babysitting millionaires.
really depending on who you are and the rank that you have. To be honest with you, sometimes you're not even doing as much X's and O's. I'm just being real. I think Popovich, Eric Spoelstra, some guys who have had a tenure somewhere, you're really doing some shit. Mike D'Antoni got a offensive philosophy. You got some defensive-minded coaches or whatever. But a lot of times, your play is going to
John
be.
Beeline.
think-
Forgot
yeah.
about John
John
Beeline. Did it a
Beeline.
few
As
years
much-
ago.
I feel like as much as I heard people talk about Greg Popovich's, like, obviously we know how good he is on the court, coaching and everything like that. But a lot of people love him. I think DeMar was even talking about him like he just treats everybody like family, and he knows how to like handle everybody, and that's what kind of makes him one of the the GOATs up there too.
Did
And
John
you know
Beeline
what's-
just retire?
The best thing about
Yeah, he didn't go back. He didn't
where
go
it
back.
starts is the front office. The front office has to empower the coach and let the
agree,
players
Derek.
know that this is our guy. What he says goes, and he's in charge, and he's not going nowhere. If you show them, as a front office, you show the players that you're weak
You know
and
what
they
I
can
was just
come in there and
watching?
complain to you, and you'll move stuff for them, then you done lost it all.